Our first inductee, Steve Yesh, starred for the Crimson and Gray from 74 to 77. A freshman on the 74 NCAA tournament team, the infielder helped the Hawks capture the MAC championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament. As a senior in 77, Steve batted .473, finishing third in the nation and establishing the SJU single-season mark, which still stands. An All-East Coast Conference selection at third base that year, he also led the Hawks in hits, walks, sacrifices, and slugging percentage. Overall, he concluded his Hawk career third on SJU's all-time list with a .343 career batting average, and still ranked 7th in program history. Currently residing in Georgia, he is joined today by his wife Susan, their children Kelly and Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the newest inductee to the St. Joseph University Baseball Hall of Fame from the class of 77, Steve Yesh.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you all very much. I would like to start by thanking St. Joseph's University, the Hawk Hall of Fame Baseball Committee, Athletic Director Don DeJulia, Head Coach Fritz Hamburg and his staff, and special thanks to Scott Fremont, who is a great point man for my family, between my family and the school this weekend. I would like to congratulate fellow inductee Bill Weingartner on his remarkable career, and to Joe Levins, a recipient of the Harry Booth Award. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to be back on Hawk Hill after nearly 34 years and humbled beyond words to receive this honor. To be even mentioned with all the great Hawk baseball players who have excelled at high levels is beyond my wildest dreams. It is great to be remembered, and I would like to thank all who have influenced and shaped my life. I would like to first introduce a couple of my family members, which was already introduced earlier. My lovely wife of 30 years, we just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary in November, Susan. We came in from Atlanta last night, the 5 of us, my son Christopher, Kelly and her fiance Robbie. I have my brother Tom that's here and his wife, my sister Mary over there with her family. All my friends back at that table over there from St. Joe's, over at Lawler Hall across the way, they're great. You guys are the best. And I love you all. Throughout my baseball career at St. Joe's, I was privileged and honored to play for 2 great men and coaches, Mr. Harry Booth and Mr. Barry Kirsch. First legendary Coach Booth. Harry was a fiery guy with a passion for baseball and winning. He recruited me out of Father Judge High in the summer of 1973. My high school had just won the Philadelphia Catholic League titles, the Catholic and City League titles at Veterans Stadium. I wanted to be a college baseball player, but where? Harry promised 3 things would happen if I agreed to become a Hawk. 1, you would receive a great quality education. He was right. You would play on the varsity team all 4 years. Back then, they used to have JV and freshman teams in a lot of the programs. But the baseball team had a varsity, so that was pretty attractive. He was right on those accounts. You would play a top-notch Division I schedule of games, and he was certainly right about that. So in the fall that year, I enrolled and became a St. Joe Hawk. In my very first year on campus, season 1974, Coach Booth and his assistants, Coach Peanuts Pollock and Coach Jerry Hunsinger, led us to that Mid-Atlantic Conference Championship. You've already heard some of the guys that made it happen and key players who made that magical season a reality. Many of my teammates from that 74 team, more than I thought, are here tonight, and it's great to see them all. After 34 years, some of them look like they could still hit line drives. Others look like they've been hit by a line drive. No names. There are two quotes I can give you which sum up what it was like to play for Coach Booth that first year for me and what would be his last year managing the Crimson and Gray. Pete Rose once said, "Somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose." I believe in letting the other guy lose. Harry prepared us constantly to make sure the other guy lost. We were well conditioned and he drilled us in the fundamentals, as he spoke about earlier, squeeze plays, moving up runners, throwing to the right base. It became how we won those close games that year. Now this last quote's origin is steeped in urban legend, but it goes something like this. Upon hearing that longtime Temple coach Skip Wilson once said, "To win, I run over my own mother at home plate to score," Harry Booth remarked, "To win, I'd run over Skip's mom too." I'm not sure that's true, but of course he swears it's true. I was privileged to learn and fortunate to play for my next 3 years, 1975 through 77, under the leadership of Coach Barry Kirsch and his staff, pitching coach Joe D'Angelo and Coach Ernie, we called him Vito Petrini. These men encouraged me and built my confidence. I became a more versatile ball player under their direction, playing a little shortstop and second base my junior year, and then third base my senior year. I can't thank them enough for the time and effort they put in to make the adjustments and let me learn each position. I never wanted to let them down for their efforts. It was during my senior year, 1977, where it all seemed to come together for me, particularly on the offensive part of my game. I managed to lead the team in hits, walks, sacrifices, slugging, anything to help the team. If it wasn't for a guy named Blaine Goya of Colorado State, who had been fourth 85 that year, I would have become the second SJU player to win an NCAA batting average title. Some of you know that Hawk Jim Clouser accomplished that in 1968 at 464 as a sophomore. What most people don't know is I did lead the college baseball in what my teammate Dan Potts called ugly hits. You can't hit 473 without these and other breaks. Ugly hits. You know the kind, the choppers, the bloopers, the dribblers, and my favorite, the squiver off the end of the bat that lands down the line on the chalk, usually good for doubles or triples. They were beautiful to watch. Look, anyone can hit a line drive, but hitting one of these things took real talent. You can't practice those. Finally, to my fellow teammates, your intensity and passion to excel and win was contagious. You always brought my game up a notch, every game, every year. So I stand up here as part of you. You were the best. You know who you are, the list is long. I just want to thank all of you for that competitive spirit and will to win. I cherish all our moments on the field and friendships off it, and still remember and laugh at the fun times we had playing together. Don't get me started on the planes, trains, and automobile adventures, and buses too, during spring break in Florida. My short time at Park Hill has become such a cherished part of my life, and I want to thank you all again from the bottom of my heart. God bless you all. Have a great evening, and let's go Hawks.
I was just telling Steve that as